So the whole of FUT Birthday Team 1 has been leaked, and as a result there are loads of investments in these gold cards that are going to go out of packs. So let's go and break down the investments. So just before the video does start, a quick little ad on a trading service I offer over on Twitch for the cheapest trading guides out there for just £4, €4, all free with Amazon Prime. You'll receive daily trading and investing guides covering PlayStation, Xbox and PC with an array of methods covering all budgets. And I've been trading for over 10 years, making over 100 million in multiple different FIFAs, and now for the last 4 years I've made 10 million coins in just the first month. So in today's video, what we're going to be doing is we are going to be going through the whole of FUT Birthday Team 1 and talking about which gold should do well out of packs, what would they rise for, and the sort of prices I'd be looking to pay for them. We're going to start with the bottom row of Starch, Anderson, Gossens and Bowie. Now, unless any of these guys I use for Evos, they have absolutely zero demand out of packs. Not everything that goes out of packs is demanded and rises. Because, you know, no one misses Stark not being in packs. No one's going to go and miss Gossens going out of packs. Which is why we don't go and buy those cards, because you've got to have reason for them to be demanded out of packs. And the whole of that bottom row are just not demanded out of packs. So the first investment we have got is Kimpembe. And Kimpembe is actually the only player that isn't SBC fodder. That is an investment. Now, why is Kimpembe demanded? Well, Kimpembe is demanded because he doesn't actually sit at discard. You see right here, this is the last 2 weeks. He here went up to 1.2, here went up to a K, here went up to a K, here went up to a K, and here went up to a K. So he consistently doesn't sit at SBC fodder. Someone who also doesn't consistently sit at SBC fodder is the likes of Mendy. Again, consistently going for about 1.9k. Well, what was quite interesting is Mendy recently got himself a FUT Fancy card. Yeah, he got himself a FUT Fancy card on the 23rd. So if we look at what happened with the likes of Mendy, before going out of packs, he was 1.9k. In the pre-hype of him going out of packs, he was 3.1k. In the peak of him being out of packs, he was 4.1k. And then he went down and down and down. Now, the one thing I will say is that I do believe there was a FUT Fantasy tournament out, which you could use a maximum 86 rated team, which definitely would have heavily driven the demand for Mendy. But again, I do think the likes of Kimpembe at a K really isn't any risk, because he goes up to a K anyway before going out of packs. Now, but yeah, Kimpembe's literally just was sat on the market there for 2 minutes, and we've been able to win him for a K. So very, very easy to win for a K. He's gone up to a K before he even went out of packs, and that's no sort of pre-hype, because that was literally, what, 4 days ago, which he's not going to be leaked for. So if he's going to 1k without being out of packs, hopefully what can happen is he can rise out of packs. So again, really, really nice discard investment right here for 1k on Kimpembe to hopefully go up due to being slightly more demanded than SBC fodder. So Kimpembe basically being the only piece of SBC fodder, that leaves us to the rest of the team, which are SBC fodder. Now, obviously, there are multiple different ranges of SBC fodder, because it can be anything from an 83 rated all the way up to like a 91 rated. And obviously, the stuff that rises an 83 isn't going to rise a 91. So what we're going to do is going to go and categorize the rest of this team and talk about what sort of investments are they, what are they going to go up for, when are you going to sell them. So sadly in this team, we actually don't have anything really low rated. There's no 83s, there's no 84s, and there's only 2 85s. And the problem I have with 85s is that they're so inflated this week for the SBCs that the 85s that are about to go out of packs are about to become really bad value for money, in my opinion. So for example, we got Cal Loglu, and earlier in the week, Cal Loglu was just 4.5k. Now he's 6.5k. Now, Jota and Rodrigo both going out of packs aren't that much more than the 85s. But one thing is these guys only have a 10k max by now. And the second thing is, because they are about 3k more than what 85s go up to, I think that the rest of the 85s are going to go and drop a k, 1.5k. And now the Jota and the Rodrigo are so bad value for money that I think it's going to be harder for them to rise, rather than, let's say, you know, 85s were 4.5k and Jota was 5k, they'd find it a lot easier to rise. But because they're so expensive in the first place, which again even minimises the amount of profit you can make before, you know, they need a price range update, yeah, I'm not a massive fan of it. So sadly, we can't actually invest in anything all the way up to an 85, which kind of sucks, because a lot of those players are very, very dominant when it comes to using them for upgrade SBCs. So now that we've come through to that, 85s aren't really going to be a buy unless for some reason they drop after 6 PM. We now move to the 86s. Now the 86s covered are Saka, Beth Mead, if I'm not wrong, might be an 87, Arehio, Barella, but Barella's a weird one, and we'll come to him right at the end, and Saka. So 86s are actually quite nice at the moment, because 86s have not been needed for the last 2 weeks, and as a result of them not being needed for 2 weeks, they're actually quite cheap in comparison to what they've been previously. We can see again right here, they've got up to 8.8k. We can see right now they're down to about 7.6k. But what we can do is we can see that although they haven't really been needed for generally 2 weeks, they're normally quite consistently needed. We can see a rise right there. We can see a rise right there. Scroll back, we can see a rise right there. Scroll back there, we can see it's a bit of a rise. So we can see that they're quite consistently needed, and the reason they're quite consistently needed is because they're needed for the lower end squads and icon and hero packs, and then on top of that, also used for upgrade SBCs. Therefore, I quite like 86s. In fact, I think 86s are the best investment because they're the best crossover utility for stuff going out of packs. Arguably 84s and 85s are probably a little bit better, but you know, there's no 84s and 85s going out of packs. And at the moment, let's have a little look at what sort of premium we are paying for these 86s out of packs. And the premium we're paying for an 86 out of packs at the moment is a K. I generally think that's all good. So if you want to go and pay up to 8.5k for, again, it's Milinkovic Savic, Araujo, Saka actually I did think would have been one play, but because he's been out of packs all week, we're actually going to talk about him at the end of the video. So it kind of just leaves us down to Araujo and Milinkovic Savic being the 86s, who I think will be really, really good investments. So we now move on to the 87s. Now the 87s going out of packs, we've got the likes of Lavella, we got Peugeot, we got Beth Mead, and we've also got Heung-min Son. But Heung-min Son actually fits into the same category as Saka and Barella, so we'll go and talk about him a little bit later on in the video. But we've got the likes of Lavella, Peugeot, and Beth Mead. Now, one thing I'd say about 87s is I don't anticipate these performing as good as 86s because they're just not needed for upgrade SBCs. Very rarely will you see 87 rated squads or minimum amount of 87s as an upgrade SBC requirement in comparison to the 86s. But well, one of them is not too bad to go and buy. So if we go and look at the price of 87s, 87s are coming in at around about 12k. Now it's a bit interesting because if we go look at Peugeot, the going rate at the moment for 87s is 12k. So I'd say paying up to 13k for the ones going out packs is not bad. So Peugeot looking all good. If we go look at Beth Mead, Mead is I believe easily coming in. There you go, 12k, a better buy than Peugeot as such. But a very weird one is Lavella is coming in at 15k. So I wouldn't be buying Lavella because, in all fairness, she was 12k before the announcement. And I believe also Beth Mead was, yeah, again, she was 11.5k before announcement. But she's gone up 500 coins, whereas she's gone up 3k. So I wouldn't see any reason to buy Lavella. You've also got to appreciate at the moment there actually is more demand for the NWSL woman because they're used for an objective. That objective is going to expire at 6 PM. So again, that would lower the demand for her. Obviously, if she's fodder, she can only go really down to fodder prices. But yeah, I wouldn't be paying above 12.5k for 87s. Also, I don't really rate them as good as 86s because their utility is a lot less. So that now leaves us with the excessively high rated ones. The excessively high rated ones are 89 Wes Morgan, 90 Benzema, 90 Messi, and 91 De Bruyne. I covered this in a earlier video, but the high-rated fodders did really well during FUT Birthday last year, which is why these four are going to be a really good investment in my opinion. So if we go and look at Lewandowski last year, again, super high-rated player, how did he do during FUT Birthday? So if we can go show you March, this is where FUT Birthday occurred, the 24th, we can see that 90s went from 61k to 79k in the first week. And then 79k all the way up there to 92k for the second week. So I would just happily go and sell them next Thursday, Friday before they go back in packs. Because we can see that they literally went up 20k, or 91s went up 20k out of packs last year. And, you know, that was fodder that was in packs, let alone fodder out of packs. Because, sorry, Lewandowski wasn't in packs, but he rose 20k because of the SBCs that are released. Whereas the fodder out of packs should also rise nicely, but do even better because they're not getting resupplied with any of the upgrade SBCs, with any of the promo packs, lightning rounds and so on, because of course their gold card just isn't in packs. And the general rule of thumb last year was the higher the rated, the better they perform, like the better the ROI. We saw 91s outperforming 90s, we saw 90s outperforming 89s, and anything below an 88 didn't really seem to do too well last year, but again I think it will do well this year because of the upgrades. So we've got Wes Morgan coming in at an 89. When I checked it earlier, she was she was 30k earlier. She's up a little bit at the moment. What are you paying for 89s? At the moment you are paying 28k for 89. So you'd only want to pay 30k for it. It's not going to be hard to win her on a 30k bid. It won't be hard to go and win her on a 30k by now. But yeah, Morgan, again, 2k inflated on an 89. Not bad. Bear in mind, high-rated foilers expected to do well this week. That then takes us over to the Benzema and the Messi. And again, it's quite an interesting one because, of course, that's two of the few 90s out of packs. Obviously, it does leave us with Lewandowski, Bon Matip, Hansen, Kerr and Courtois in packs, but Harry Kane's out of packs because he's a team of the week. Messi's out of packs because he's a foot birthday, and Benzema's also out of packs. Now, at the moment, Benzema looks a lot better value for money than Messi. Sorry, I clicked on Harry Kane. Than Messi, because Messi's coming in at 45k, a 5k premium on 90s, whereas Benzema's coming in at a 41k. Again, 1k premium on 90s. If anything, yeah, nearly the going rate of 90s. So at the moment, Benzema's a lot better. I generally would happily pay maybe up to like 42k for a Benzema, because again, these 90s are expected to do really well. Whereas again, Leo Messi, maybe you can win him on bids or something, but generally not worth buying him if he's 4k more, if they're likely to do the same out of packs. The only thing going for Lionel Messi is that Lionel Messi was not in packs last week due to getting a Team of the Week card, so his card is, I guess, significantly rarer than Benzema, but not to the point where I'd want to pay 4k more. And then that finally ends us off with De Bruyne. So it's quite interesting because Haaland was out of packs all this week because he had a Dynasty card re-released, which meant his gold card was in packs. But the weird not the weird thing, but the observation is that he actually went from 59k and he peaked at like 62k. So he didn't really go up. But what is interesting, because of course, surely, why would I go and buy De Bruyne if Haaland didn't go up? Well, in the period where Haaland did not go up in price, De Bruyne, if I'm not wrong, went down 10k. So we are looking for, what price was he on the Friday? Yeah, he was 56k. And he went down to about 50k. So sorry, he dropped 6k. So what this shows is that, I guess in theory, Haaland is 6k more than SBC fodder price in a week where, again, high rateds didn't really do that well. So what we're thinking is, De Bruyne should in theory rise minimum of 6k, but fodder should be more demanded this week than last week because the SBCs weren't overly amazing last week, in hopefully comparison to what we get this week. So De Bruyne at 53k, I wouldn't go anywhere near that. I'll be completely honest with you. I would probably pay maximum 51, maybe 52k for this Kevin De Bruyne. Yeah, so I actually managed to pick a bunch up earlier, literally just because De Bruyne was a good investment even before he goes at packs. But yeah, maybe I pay 52. The problem is he was kind of averaging about 49 yesterday, so 52k max for De Bruyne. And again, what you'd be doing is you'd just be waiting for those top-end SBCs, top-end player SBCs, and then we go and sell them next Thursday. So that's all the fodder covered, but there were a few players we didn't go and cover. And those players that we didn't go and cover were Barella, Saka, and, if I'm not wrong, Son. Now, why didn't we cover Barella, Saka, and Son? The reason we didn't cover Barella, Saka, and Son is because they've just been out of packs for a whole week. We can show you this. We can see that Barella went out of packs because they re-released his Team of the Group stage card. We can see that Son was out of packs all last week because they re-released his Fire and Ice card. And we can also go and see that Saka was in packs all last week because they had his Team of the Group stage card. Which means that this fodder is already very rare. It's not been in packs for a week. And it's now going out of packs for yet another week. Unless the players are in the mini-release. That is something to bear in mind. So it means that we would pay even more of a premium for this fodder because it's now going to be out of packs for 2 weeks. Now, sadly, there is nothing to do on Barella in terms of, it's nice that Barella's out of packs for 2 weeks, but sadly for Barella, he's already done so well this week that he's 15k and his max price range is 16k. So sadly, nothing to do right there. But interestingly enough, Saka has also been out of packs all week, and he's only 9.5k of a 15k max price range. So I would happily go and pay up to 9.5k for Saka because his card is now very rare and a lot more likely to probably max out at that 15k price range because, again, he's already been out of packs for a week and this is going to be his second week. Now, sadly, it also doesn't really carry over that well with Son, not only because there's only a 6k price difference and obviously we're going to pay more tax, but Son is really significantly more than an 87. An 87 right now is coming in at about 11.5. Son's coming in at 19k to the point where I just wouldn't touch it. So this trend really works really well with Saka, but the other two are a bit null and void. But it again gives you kind of a different sort of take on investing on the cards because, again, they've already been out of packs for a week. And that's going to wrap it up. As I say, you want to go and buy these cards kind of when you're watching the video, and you want to go and sell these cards Thursday after 6 PM. That's going to wrap it up. As I say, I'll have a new video for you guys regarding investing tomorrow morning. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys tomorrow with a brand new video.